Hey everybody, this is Ranaxalu doing my Fan Expo review, and Fan Expo was just a few weeks ago. I'm sorry this is so delayed. Coming back, I was just so busy. My aunt's getting married to my uncle in October. I started a new job and I'm moving out into my own place at the end of this month, so it's been very crazy busy, and I didn't have a good camera to film this on, so thank you, Cassie, for letting me use your camera to film this. I'm gonna do this in 3 parts. The first part is going to be like my experience in arriving there and stuff. The second part is going to be the haul I have. I found things that I've bought. I'm pretty sure it's everything, and the next part is going to be review, pros and cons, my thoughts about it and everything. So yeah, let's get this video started, I guess. This is the first big convention that I've ever been to. I usually go to like smaller cons like Icon, KitaCon, ThunderCon. These are like just like small condensed cons. One ThunderCon was for a day last year. KitaCon was for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So this was a very overwhelming experience for me. We got there at Thursday. We flew. Soulworks Photography ended up joining us, and my boyfriend Waylon. And we got there, and then I was told for advice to do shopping on the first day. So that's what we did. So I didn't cosplay the first day, I just cosplayed for 2 days. I went there, and holy cow, was there so many people. We stayed at the Strathcona Hotel, which is just down the street, and we walked there, so because it was just like a block or 2 away. Oh wow. I was really overwhelmed with this convention. Fan Expo is like the first big major Canada convention that I've ever went to. Originally I wasn't going to go because I'm very money savvy, I guess you could say. And I made promises I'd go to KitaCon, and then I found out that my childhood hero, Mark Hamill, was going to be there, and I was like, okay, I have to go. Like, I have to go to this thing. I don't care if I'm broke, I don't care if I'm in debt for the rest of my life, I have to go. And actually my grandmother was the one who convinced me. You say you're a big Star Wars fan, and you're giving up a chance to meet Mark Hamill, and I was like, you're right, I gotta do this. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. So I went, and it was just overwhelming. It was so crazy. I was just overwhelmed by the amount of people there. It was, holy cow, I've never seen so many people there at a convention before in my life. So we went to the market room, and there was 2 market rooms. I'm not used to that. I thought the one in Icon was huge, or the one in Gatineau was huge. Oh no. Ranaxalu, you don't know anything yet. So I went there, and it was just so overwhelming. There was artist alleys on one side, and then there was toys and collectibles, and there was an Xbox area on the other side, and then there was like trying out video games, and me and Waylon played this one game. I think it was called Killer Instinct. It was like a fighting game where you could be like the Arbiter and stuff. I think it was called Killer Instinct. I can't exactly remember, but it was a really fun fighting game. And then we wandered around forever and ever. Like that whole day we basically shopped. The whole entire day we shopped. Pretty much. That was that Thursday. So we went across to the other alley. And holy cow, I can't believe there was 2. There was mystery boxes, and they had this huge, like, William Shatner, like the Star Trek, the original series. He was Captain Kirk, and it was his chair from the original series. I was there. There was set up about, like, Star Wars riding on the speeder from episode 6. There was like an area. It kind of looked like the ship from A New Hope. When it first opens up, it kind of looked like that area. They had an R2-D2 droid that like opened its arms, and it freaked out and made that whoa sound and stuff. 501st was there. That was really cool. They did giveaways, like you could enter, if you pay money to enter a draw to win like a Star Wars helmet and Star Wars figurines and stuff. Like a Stormtrooper helmet. And then it was cool. They had the Emperor's chair, which was super cool. It was just so amazing. It was awesome. The next day, which was Friday, I dressed up as Lady Vader, or Genderbend Vader, whichever you call it. So I did not make that costume. I bought it for Halloween last year because I needed a Halloween costume. So I was like, oh, I'll wear it again. So it was like a corset with a skirt and a cape with a Darth Vader voice changer helmet. And I did more walking around, and I changed when I got there. It was so cool. This little kid, I don't know how old he was like 5 or 6, he comes running up to me and he was like, "Can I have a picture with you?" And I was like, "Of course, you know, this is why we dress up, right?" So I got a picture taken with a little kid. He was the first person to ever ask me a picture that weekend. It was great. So we went and we got our picture taken at the Star Wars set because I was already in costume and stuff. I was like, "Yeah, I want to sit on that chair as Lady Vader. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be awesome. I love it," kind of thing. And I went and I got in line for to meet Yaya Han. Yaya Han was there, and I bought a print. I gave her a hug, and it was meeting like my cosplay senpai was just so amazing. She actually looks taller in her prints than she does in person. Like, I'm probably like a little inch taller than her, and I was like, "That's okay, I'm so great, good to meet you, oh my god." Like, I thought I was gonna cry and pee myself, but I didn't. It was fine. It was just, meeting her was so amazing. It was awesome. And then I went and I met the Pinkie Pie and Fluttershy voice actor from My Little Pony, because I love the show. I am basically Pinkie Pie. So I was like, and I told her about my costume that I made, and I won 2nd place in the experts division at KidCon a couple of years ago, and she's like, "Oh, that's so cool." And then I asked her, I got a picture of her, and she signed it, and I was like, "Oh, could you do the Pinkie Pie thing?" And she's like, "Okie dokie dokie then." And it was great. So then we went to the Goofy panel. That was the voice actor who played as Goofy, and he talked about his experiences, kind of like almost like a Q&A panel most of the time. He did sing a little bit of the Open Road from the Goofy movie. He also talked about his experiences, like what it's like to work in a TV show like Goofy on the Disney Channel, and then Goofy in Kingdom Hearts. And he is also actually Pluto. I didn't know that. He was Pluto the dog as well, so he had to make the barking sounds and such. And he talked about his experiences with working with the original Mickey Mouse before he died, and how he was just a hysterical person. And he also did the screaming voice that he does, and he had to turn it all the way down so that, because he would blow out the speakers every time he did it. And he talked about when he was a kid, actually, his favorite childhood Disney character was Goofy. So this was almost like a dream come true for him. I went up and I shook his hand, and I told him, "Oh man, I love you, you're awesome, you know, I'm a huge Disney fan, I love Goofy, and thank you for everything you did to Disney." And he was like, "Oh, thank you very much." And I shook his hand, and it was just so amazing. The next day, I dressed up as a Jedi. Waylon, actually, at the Xbox place, if you have a Platinum Edge card, there is a VIP section that you can go to for charging your phone and stuff, but it's only for if you have the Platinum card. And then there was a wrestler there, I can't remember his name, I'm not super interesting, but he got a panel with them where only the Platinum Edge cards could be in, which was cool for him, while I was wandering around looking at what to buy and stuff. So basically what you did at Fan Expo is you go in ahead of time and you book a time slot kind of thing. I think Mark Hamill's ticket came to like $220. It was really expensive, and then like I looked online, and a signing for him, like an autograph from him, was $200 as well. So we chose to get a picture with him because like a picture to me is more memorable than an autograph, because you have visual proof that you met him. Some people out there might question it and be like, "Oh, this could have been, you know, false and stuff," but you can't deny a picture. So you go there, and they said they call you by group, so we were group 3, I think, and they goes, "Mark Hamill, group 1, Mark Hamill, group 2, and then you line up at the back, and then they move the lines over one line by line by line by line. We were probably there for 2 hours to meet Mark Hamill. It was nuts. It was so crazy. You'd go there, and Mark Hamill would be sitting there, kind of thing, and he looked like a swell guy. Like, we got our picture. Finally, when it was our turn, it was worth those 2 hours, because we actually made a friend out of it too, named Naomi, and she was pretty cool. She cosplayed as Harley Quinn, like the part where like she doesn't have the face paint, just like the hair and stuff, and then she had like the Harlequin suit on kind of thing, where one side's black and it's almost like the classic from the animated series kind of thing. And she was super nice. It was cool. She helped make the time go by faster for sure. So yeah, that was really cool. And then there was this family there I thought was super awesome. I managed to get a picture with them. The mother was Padme, and then the husband was Han Solo. The daughter was Leia, and the son was Kylo Ren. So it was kind of like 3 generations of like Star Wars characters, and it was really cool. That was a super like, I want to be part of this family. So I got a picture taken with them because their cosplays were so awesome. So yeah, we met Mark Hamill, and it was amazing. It was probably one of the best days of my life, getting a picture taken with him. I cried at the end. I didn't cry during, because my boyfriend was like, "Don't cry, Lorena, don't cry." So I tried not to cry. I cried at the end. And I was like, oh my god, I got to touch Mark Hamill's face, so this is great. So I sent it to all my friends. I was like, look at what happened today. And they're like, oh my god, and I'm like, oh my god, and oh. So it was worth the money for sure. Like, if you're meeting like your heroes, and it was worth that money. For sure. I wish my dad could have came with us, but unfortunately he's in the military, so he had somewhere else to be, so he couldn't make it. Because when my dad was 6 years old, that's when A New Hope came out, so he was a huge Star Wars fan before even I was, kind of thing. Like, before I was even thought of, or close to being thought of, or being created. Like, this Star Wars has been his whole life since he was 6 years old. He talked about like my grandmother taking him there, and it changed his life, kind of thing, even though he was 6. And yeah, he was pretty pumped for me to go meet him, but I wish he was there so we could have experienced together, because that's what me and my dad, like, we bond over Star Wars a lot. Like, if it wasn't for him, I probably totally would not be into Star Wars at all. So, but what are you gonna do, right? So then after that, we got our picture, and it was super cool. And then we went out for dinner, and we helped Soulworks with a photo shoot of a girl who dressed up as DJ Sona from League of Legends, and she had like the whole piano system thing going, and then she had like the helmet, and it all lit up, all of it, and she had the music on her phone, and she could pick which lights she turned on. It was incredible. It was so amazing. Like, you could change the colors on it, and it went to the beat of the music and stuff, and it was really well done. It inspired me to get that arcade misfortune thing done, kind of thing. It was really well done. And then the next day was like the wind down day, the day we go home, kind of thing. I also, I brought a couple things for my friends to go sign for people. Unfortunately, I couldn't make it to Todd's because his line was super long and we had a plane to catch. But I did end up meeting David Hayter, who is Solid Snake from the Metal Gear series, and I got his game signed by him and everything. And he's a pretty attractive looking guy. He's super nice. He asked me where I was from. Like, the line took really long, but the reason why it was so long is because he was talking to everybody, which is really cool. Probably not cool for the people waiting in line, because they gotta wait more time than they have to, but he didn't just sign and go, oh, here you go, here's your stuff signed. He was like, oh, where are you from, blah, 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 kind of thing. Oh, you know, if you're a fan, how long have you been a fan for, blah, blah, blah. And he was really cool. I was like, oh yeah, this isn't for me, this is actually for my friend Alan. I only know you from Super Smash Brothers, and I liked you in Super Smash Brothers. And then he did the snake voice. He was like, oh, thank you, kind of thing. And you know where you're from, and I'm from Thunder Bay, blah, 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 which was super cool. And then that day we actually got pictures to get taken with Stan Lee as well, because this was going to be his last appearance at this convention. So we're like, oh, we gotta meet him, you know, we're not going to get another chance to meet him, so we gotta do it. So that one was a little confusing. We were standing in the line, and they'd be like, we were group 5, so they were great. They were like, group 4, group 3, group 4, Stan Lee, come forward, and they'd address you to where you gotta go this way and over through here. And they'd be like, okay. And I guess Mark Hamill, his thing was on the same day that Stan Lee was, on the same times, kind of thing. So he would be like, Mark Hamill, group 1. Okay. Mark Hamill, group 2. Mark Hamill, group 3. And we're like, okay, we're group 5, where is this? And they're like, group 5, put your hand up. So we put our hands up. Group 5, put your hand up. We put our hands up again. Group 5, you're moving finally. And it's like, oh, why would you put, I don't know how this convention functions or anything like that. This is my first year going, so take what I say with a grain of salt. But why would you put a once-in-a-lifetime person who's first time at a Canadian convention at the same time as this is somebody's last convention? It just, I don't know, we were confused and we were like, I don't know what's going on. They said group 5 and then they said group 3, go ahead, and then I was just so confused. Like, I don't know, maybe they should have put it with like a voice actor or some other character like who they know isn't gonna be huge as Mark Hamill or Stan Lee. I think we waited for 2 hours for that one too, but this was before we had to catch a flight, so we were like looking at the time going, okay, we have a flight booked back home, so we were trying to be like, oh my god, gotta boogie, come on, we have a plane to catch, you know, and so we made it, and Soulworks was with us, and we all got our picture taken with Stan Lee. We all got our picture taken with Stan Lee together, and he seemed really nice. We all said, oh, hey, thanks for coming, Stan Lee, love your work, and then we got our picture, and then me and Waylon had to boogie all the way to the airport, or back to hotel, get our stuff, and go back to the airport, kind of thing, and that was our adventure. I had a friend he went the same days as we did. I only ran into him twice, up the escalator, and then one time at another thing we took a selfie together. Just twice. We're like, hey, but like our time schedules were both so busy that we could never meet up, kind of thing. And we only did go to one panel, but it was just so overwhelming for us. And maybe a couple years we'll go to more panels and such. But now it's time on to part 2 of the video, which is my haul. So I got this. It's a Asana mouse pad, because I wanted one of these mouse pads for so long, because I've tried one at my friend's house before and these are really comfortable. So yeah, and I like Sword Art Online. The first part of the first season was excellent. The second part of the first season was okay. First part of the second season was excellent. Second part of the second season was okay, but that's just my opinion. You guys may like the entire show, you may hate the entire show. That's just my opinion. But I did like the characters. I did like Asuna. I did like Kirito. So, you know, it's just, yeah. So I got that, and I've been using ever since. I also have, I kind of opened this already. I haven't built it yet because we looked at it and we needed pencils and stuff. So I was like, oh, we'll do this later. And it's like, it comes in a mystery box that you get, so you don't know exactly what's inside. So we got the Star Wars edition, so it was all covered in Star Wars stuff. So here's this little paper craft that you get to build of a clone trooper, and then there's like 3 more characters you get in the back. I'm giving to my father, so he probably won't see this video or make 22 minutes into it. So it's one of those cups that you get. It's like, if it's cold, it's just a picture of an X-Wing, but if it's hot, it turns it going into hyperdrive kind of thing. Boop, 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 boop. So here's the picture with me. Look, that's me and Mark Hamill. He's touching the side of my face. It's brilliant. And then there's my boyfriend Waylon. See? Oh, I can't wait to frame this picture. This is gonna be the best. And then here's me, Wayland, and Soulworks Photography, Samar, with Stan Lee. Got that picture taken too. It was so cool. I like Soulworks with this thumb up. It's so awesome. So we got that done. Here is me, or not me. I wish that was me. Oh gosh, she's so pretty. This is the voice actor for Pinkie Pie and Fluttershy from My Little Pony. She was so nice and amazing. And the day that I was dressed up as a Jedi, Waylon was dressed up as a Sith. And there was this free photo booth session that you get well, not photo booth, but like photography time, like 10-minute photo shoot you get with people, and their name on their card is called ConArtists, and we were just laughing at that title for like 10 minutes. It's so good. I'm never gonna forget their name. But we did this, and if you can pay for like $20 for a disc, $5 for 2 photos. So we got this done. And the guy who looked at Whelan was like, "Oh, you're so tall, you probably get this all the time, but you're so tall." And he's like, "Yeah, I do get that all the time." He's like 6'4". Whelan's 6'4". So yeah, we got those done. We got a bunch of stuff done. And apparently the best one of those is going to be posted on the internet. So if it's not the ones we picked, we'll print it off and get a third one. Yay! I just want to make sure everything's good. At the Xbox stuff, they were giving away free bags. So we got, this was really handy to carry on because we bought lots of stuff, right? And I got this rose from a Belle cosplayer. She just had a basket full of roses, and I was like, "Oh, your Belle cosplay is so awesome. It's my favorite Disney princess ever." And she's like, "Oh, thank you, have a rose." So I'm like, yes, I still have this. I still kept the rose, because I'm a hoarder, and I keep everything, because I roll like that. And then I got, this came from that mystery box.
Move out, let's go. Drop the weapons, now.
Pretty cool. He's the First Order trooper. I have a couple others like these. I have Yoda, I have Darth Maul, and I have Darth Vader. So when I got this, when we grabbed the box, we split it into different things because me and Whelan paid for like half of it. Right? We paid half each for it, so we split it up to what we wanted. And this is like a ice cube. You can make the Millennium Falcon ice cube or chocolate or whatever you want kind of thing. When I showed this to my grandmother, she was really digging this, so we'll probably use it for our next Star Wars party or something like that. And then on to one of the really good parts. Just let me open this. Okay, so here, so this is a print of Arcade Misfortune by Yaya Han, and this was such a cool thing to get because she was like, what she wrote on here was always follow your cosplay dreams, and I look up to her as like one of my cosplay senpais kind of thing. So it was like, oh, this is so amazing that you get this. I'm gonna put this up in my cosplay room when I get one, like my sewing room when I get one in my house I'm moving to. So I was like, oh, my cosplay senpai is telling me to follow my cosplay dreams. You bet you I will, kind of thing. It was awesome. And then this was by an artist that's super cool. He makes really cool art, and I had to get this one because I love Kingdom Hearts. I might give this one to Courtney, my friend Courtney. I mean, yeah. And then I got this one. Print. That was super cool. Garrus from Mass Effect. I had to get that because Garrus is my baby. I love him. Whelan got a selfie stick that looks like a lightsaber, which is super cool. And he got something else, a couple other things from the box, but I can't remember what they were. But yeah, that was super cool. I had super fun. I guess the third part of this video would be the review. Overall, my experiences with Fan Expo is, I'd give it a 9 out of 10. My friend kept calling it Line Con. Now I see why. lots of lines. I was probably standing there to meet David Hayter for like about an hour and a half or an hour. It took up an entire panel that I wanted to go to, but what are you gonna do? Friends are important, right? And I promised I'd do that, so it's always good to keep your promises. But yeah, it was amazing. It was really overwhelming when I saw the 2 marketplaces because they were the biggest marketplaces I've ever seen. Everybody was so nice. They had information booths anywhere, so if you're ever lost, they'd point you in the direction where you needed to go. The 501st was there, and they all looked amazing. I really liked the variety they had. They had horror stuff, they had sci-fi, fantasy, book authors, button makers, print artists, people made clothing, toys, mangas, mouse pads, everything. It was amazing. Like, oh, I loved it. I would go again. I do think that the food there is a little overpriced. But that's just my opinion. Take what I say with a grain of salt. I've never been to Fan Expo before, and I've never been to a convention of this magnitude. So always bear that in mind when I say things. But it was crazy amazing. I enjoyed every second of it. You did get lost. Like, if you weren't hanging on to somebody's, like, your friend's strap, you were gonna lose them. If I was leading the way, I'd turn around and Waylon would be gone. Like, there were so many people, and like, you had to keep moving and moving and moving and moving. Like, to get to one aisle, especially in the marketplace where all the signing is and the pictures are, you had to go all the way around the room just to get to the next aisle you wanted to be in, because it was so crazy. I constantly was brushing up against people all the time. Oh, sorry, bumping into people, because you had to keep moving. And even the people who ran the con were like, keep moving, don't stop still, you gotta keep moving, keep walking, keep walking, keep walking, keep walking. Kind of deal, right? Again, I don't know why you would put Stan Lee and Mark Hamill's time at the same time. Again, I don't know how it's run. Maybe they had to. I've never been there before, so, but like, again, as I said before, you could have paired them off with people you know whose line isn't going to be very long, or whose group isn't going to be very big. Of course, you can never tell, but you should have known by Mark Hamill's first ever Canadian convention. You know everybody's going to go there for that. And then Stan Lee's last ever Canadian convention, you know, people are going to try to get their last minute in on that. So maybe you could have paired them up with other people who's been going forever, years in a row, or maybe, you know, voice actors, kind of thing, you know. But those are my only tidbits. Just be careful going there. You are going to get lost. Make sure you always have a buddy system where you have a meetup place, because you'll be walking with your friend and there will be so much people, you turn around, you'll lose them. Like, there's so much people walking and stuff. But yeah, that's all I have to say. I had a lot of fun. Keep up the good work, Fan Expo. Hopefully I won't be going next year because I gotta save up for the other cons I'm going to next year, but the year after, I'm already making plans with people of hopefully going. So keep up the good work, Fan Expo, and thank you everybody for your time for watching this half-hour video. So I will see you guys on my next video, whatever that's going to be. Leave a comment below if you think I should give tips for cosplaying, or any suggestions, like top 10s or something, or like animes, or I'll do whichever, or maybe do's and don'ts of something, or whatever. This channel's still a baby in the works, so. But yeah, and if not, and for you guys on my Facebook page, I'll see you guys on my next post. Remember to check it out and make sure you vote for the top 4 characters. The characters with the most vote is going to be made next year. So, yeah. See you guys later.